meeting to order.
Yes, sir. I'm about talked out.
All right. We'll move through this agenda reasonably quickly, but also realizing that we need to pay attention and make appropriate decisions as well. Go ahead, folks.
Okay, well, the first thing on the agenda is the S 2025 summary plan document approval that we'll need voted on. The main things just to call out that changed from 2024 to 2025 is that One Pass Select, which is your discount gym membership, was added into the document. The deductible was changed to $3,300. And then the UHC motion incentive language was removed as they no longer offer that. And hearing aid language was revised to remove home delivery as the service is no longer available. We just need a vote to approve.
You okay with that, Brad?
I'm real okay with that. Move for approval.
Second. All in favor, say aye on our part.
Aye.
How about you guys on the council and ladies?
I made a motion to approve. Motion to approve, is there a second? Yes. So moved. So moved by Mr. Wyatt. All those in favor, signify by
I got a
saying
question,
aye.
so the deductible, is that for single person?
It is for single.
So what is it for family now?
It stayed the same year over year. It is it's five.
Five.
Five, yep.
Well, I mean,
And that only went up because that was the IRS minimum to maintain the minimum deductible for a high deductible.
They didn't double for family? it's just-
No,
No.
no, we did not increase the payment, we only changed the
Thank you.
single.
Approve, aye, that'd be good.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
It is approved. Seven.
We're approved as well.
Okay, fantastic. All right, moving on to the next agenda item, which is your wellness program. When we were last together, we had discussed the wellness proposal and were asked to make some revisions. We did remove any of the PTO as a incentive for participating. Basically, you have 4 areas in which you can earn points: your annual physical with labs, preventative exams, which can vary, colonoscopy, well woman, dental vision screenings, participate at Henderson County Fun Run, gym, fitness, class participation, and then wellness coaching. And then, should your members decide to participate, that the county is saying that they will incentivize them by giving them $250 in wellness incentive rewards that will be directly deposited on December of 2026. Thoughts, comments?
What points do you have to get that? You have to have all. of
Total
them?
of 20 points, so you can pick in any of those 5 categories and,
That, I mean, in my mind, that shouldn't be difficult to obtain.
That should be free money.
Correct.
Yeah, but a lot of people won't do it, probably, or they won't, so.
Yeah. Money is about the only thing that will drive them to do it.
Sure.
And so that's why we are recommending putting an incentive behind it to get them. I mean, the most important thing is to get people to get their annual physical exams, to get their labs, so we can catch things sooner versus later. But then there are some of the wellness things put in there as well.
And if they do that, that's 12 points right there.
Correct.
And so, you know, yep. Good.
What is? Where does it say 20 points?
at the very top, underneath Henderson County 2026 Employee Wellness Program.
Second line in brackets. Yeah. So we need a vote.
Move to accept the wellness program as presented.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Larry?
Made a motion to approve for the council. Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 7-0.
Aaron, I assume somehow we get this worked out to everybody.
Yes, we're gonna do it during open enrollment, so we're gonna do open enrollment meetings. So when we send out our open enrollment stuff, we will also address during the open enrollment meetings. And then I'll do another follow-up, because I usually have to do a couple follow-up information pieces, so yes, I'll make sure everybody knows. Now, do we need to go before the council to ask for an appropriation if we won't know until after December 19th of 2025 how many people might possibly even sign up for this. When do you guys need to know how many people are signed up for you guys to budget it for next year at the end of?
We can do an additional preparation the night before, it's not a big deal.
Okay, okay.
See what kind of
I think the
participation.
participation rate's gonna be, I think it's a lot harder to get this than people are thinking it is.
Okay.
Especially, if you don't go to a gym, you're not gonna get it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
UMR prior authorization
Yes.
list.
UMR is suggesting and recommending to update your prior authorization list. And basically what they did is they expanded your current list to be more specific. So building out like advanced radiation, imaging, cardiovascular procedures versus just inpatient procedures. And really that is just to protect the plan sponsor, like, being able to have those members go in and get the prior authorization, and if they're going to the wrong provider, they're redirecting them back to the correct provider. And then I think the only thing that really is notable that they did remove was home health care and clinical trials, but they weren't getting much denial on those, so they didn't think that there was a need to keep those as a prior authorization. They're saying if you should adapt this list, it's about $68,000 savings to the county.
We okay with that?
I'm okay with that. That was a form of motion.
All right, I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
A motion from the council.
So,
We have a motion and a second to the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
opposed?
Good luck, Mylan.
Larry, you have one.
One opposed.
One opposed. Yeah.
Oh, one opposed.
Yeah.
6-1, excuse me.
Dave Cox.
Okay.
Before we proceed further, someone along the line had suggested that this group operate as a single committee rather than council and commissioners. I think that's a good idea. I don't know if we can do that. I'll move that we operate as a single committee.
Do you?
I see some problems with that potentially, in that we could have a quorum without the commissioners, which I think could be a potential problem. And it could happen with the council too, potentially, but I think that could be a problem.
Well, let me withdraw that motion and move that we operate as a single committee, provided that there are at least 2 commissioners and at least 4 council members.
Okay, we have a revised motion. Is there a second? Do we have a motion and a second discussion?
I don't know for certain if this probably wants to be on this Larry's attorney, but I'm concerned with legality. I'm sorry, I've got some stuff here. I don't know, I'm worried about the legality of it, in that if the 2 commissioners who are here, or all 3 of them literally were here, and they were opposed to something, we could all outvote them.
But ultimately, it's their decision to make, so they can overturn
These
it.
are just recommendations.
All we're
It
doing is
doesn't do
recommending,
anything.
every vote we take in here is a recommendation to the commissioner.
It'll come to
Okay.
us at our meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
But it also helps, it helps Chuck if we provide the funding for it, whatever that is.
Okay.
And that's some of the reasons why it was split, is because Apex was making multiple attempts to come to county meetings because the council, this committee used to be one committee. And there was a commissioner who didn't follow through with things that was decided on.
Okay.
And so we called joint meetings, so that way we can look at each other and say, look, we'll fund it as long as you approve it. If you'll approve it, we'll fund it. And that way it keeps 2 separate entities.
Okay, so long as it doesn't create any legal issues.
So we do, the votes here are actually standing votes. We don't take them back to your individual groups anymore. Everything that we've been doing here since we made it a joint commissioner and council meeting with votes, when you take a vote here, it's final. We don't bring it back to your individual groups. Like when Jasmine was here, we don't do that anymore. Everything, once it's here, it's done here.
Except if it's something that needs to be have funds appropriated, in which case it need to be advertised in a regular council meeting.
And Apex can go ahead and run with it after today.
Yeah, I think the thought process was make sure everybody's on the same page, so it wasn't,
Yeah.
because a lot of times the concern is around renewal time. We have to make decisions really quickly as it relates to stop loss, so that we don't inadvertently put ourselves in a bad position. So that was the genesis of it, is making sure that we gain alignment with what we're voting on from a policy perspective, that might not be the right term, and then the funding, right? So that we have alignment, so that we could go tell the carriers what to do.
And that's still my concern, is I think if we try to say we're one unit here and we outvote the commissioners, I don't know if that's real, because they have to prove it anyway.
I will say, I'm not an attorney, so I'm not gonna speak about legal matters.
So I just don't- I just
But I do think it's about, I mean, it's, I don't know
think
the law.
we could be one unit, because of the way county government operates.
Do you guys,
I don't think it really
is there
matters.
a concern?
Our function is.
I'm not
really
supportive
advisory.
of it.
Yeah, we're not going to approve any financial or funding for this
Right.
appropriation.
On the,
No.
I guess it doesn't really matter.
we have a motion and a second on the floor for the council. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
We have two opposed, so it'd be 5-2. I think it was 2. Whoops, you're opposed? Yeah. Okay, so it's 4-3 then, approved. The motion.
And what was the motion again?
That we function as a single committee, provided there are at least 2 commissioners and at least 4 council members present.
I'm gonna kill it, because I'm not in favor of it.
Okay. We're not in favor of it.
So we vote the way we want.
So you like it as it is? Is that what I understand, Brad?
Correct.
Or you like it as it is?
Yes.
That we are a joint,
Yeah.
2 entities at one?
Right.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I think it's worked fine there. I don't see the need, so. Back to you.
Okay.
Stays as
Fantastic.
it is.
Are we down to?
The pharmacy.
Pharmacy
Yeah.
market check.
So when you go to page 6 of the attached, you're gonna see, we did with our partners, company Innovative RX Solutions, we did go and do a market check this year for the county to see how your contract was structured, to see what savings we could find for you all. Pleased to bring the results back to you today. On the first column, you'll see is current, and it's gonna tell you your total gross RX costs. Your second column is the negotiated rebates and rate guarantees. And then the third column is what we would be changing formularies to what's called an exclusive formulary. So do nothing approach, keeping everything as it is today, you're looking at a potential savings of $208,000, or 17 to 18%. If we go to the exclusive formulary, it is a narrower formulary. So what that means is some of the drugs that are currently on your formulary right now will not be on the exclusive list. We did have Innovative RX Solutions do an analysis to see member impact and disruption. There are that are currently on medications. They're not high clinically impact claims, but and they all do have generics. One of those actually has been filled since February, so really we're looking at more like 4 members that are impacted. But that would then get you to $287,000, or almost 24.5% savings, if you decided that you wanted to go to the narrow network. If the folks that currently, let's say there was a drug that was on the previous formulary that isn't on this narrower formulary, they wouldn't know any different if you moved, let's say, January 5th, they decide to take this drug, it's not on there, they'll be automatically shifted to the new generic underneath the new formulary. So, there are 2 decisions. You can stay as you are right now and get that $208,000, or you can move to the narrow formulary and save $287,000.
But if you move to that, there's gonna be basically 4 people affected.
That'll be 4 people that are impacted. You have, for 2025, there were 5, but 1 person hasn't filled one of the drugs since February.
And through some discussion that we had before all of you got in here, the drug, if they're on a drug now, and we say we approve this, the new formulary that's put together, there would be a drug with the same efficacy for that individual that they could take. It's just a change from what they're currently taking. So
They're not
Right.
going without.
they're not.
Yeah, they're not going without.
And they should be fine.
There's still a medication on the formulary that would allow them to
Right.
treat that condition or
There's
that
an
diagnosis.
But
Yes.
is there a problem for people in changing from one to the other? I mean, or is there a transition?
We're not doctors.
We don't know that. They would have to.
So we don't have data on that.
We don't have that information.
If
They
there,
would
if there is a problem like Larry's talking about, is there an allowance in the program for those individuals? If the approved formulary, for whatever reason, they have some, maybe an allergy to one of the inert things in or something,
Right.
is there an allowance they get something about that?
I would have to take that back. I would say you would probably have to go through an appeals process. I think that you're gonna have to show that clinically it's necessary to be on the other one before it will get approved.
But
There will be
there's-
extra
There's
steps.
still a process.
There's a process.
Okay.
I think that's a good point, Chuck, because I am allergic to maybe Vicodin. And it could be the difference of the manufacturer who made the Vicodin with the carrier that's in that pill, with the allergic reaction. So I think that's a good point.
Yeah, like some of them, the difference is it's made in a metal cylinder versus a plastic cylinder, and that could create an interaction. That's sometimes why generics aren't always applicable to every single person.
That's right. I really just want to be sure that there was an alternative. So they get abused.
But keep in mind that that appeal process could be declined at the end of the day, but there is a process to appeal, absolutely.
Any, sorry Larry, any Todd or Aaron or Ann, any thoughts you might have on that? Yes, we're taking
I personally like the universal versus the exclusive. I am one of those people that I'm not one of these people impacted on this, but I am a person that takes medication, that if I take the other medication that is out there, that's a commonly known medication, I have really bad heart issues. So I'm one of those people, what if I go to appeal it and I lose the appeal, now where do I go? Because now I can't take a med.
I just think our savings are high enough that if we had to supplement something, lose an issue, I think we could do that.
Case by case.
Yeah, we don't want to
Case
do
by
that.
case by case.
Let's not try to do that.
Yeah, we caution against making exceptions, because if you make an exception, even though it is,
Then why would we be
A
taking
good
action we'd
intent.
be taking in a minute?
it comes back to bite you, because you have to apply it across the board for everything.
Well, what's your recommendation? You want to stay with universal proposal one?
I mean, it's,
There's still savings.
yeah, there's still savings. I mean, we're still gaining an additional $200,000 in savings by staying with the universal and not moving to the exclusive formulary. We don't have a lot of disruption. I would say 5 is a minimal disruption in comparison to what we typically see.
That number moves from year to
But that
year.
number moves.
It's a
When you
variable.
add people, even when you add people onto the plan, people are newly diagnosed with a condition, that's when you get the rub on the exclusive
We
formulary.
don't want to be playing doctor in the exclusive, I think, and that puts a little bit of that burden on this group.
Yep.
And there,
Yep.
and Chuck, there are some times when a generic
Isn't as effective.
really doesn't work for an individual, and you need something else. And so,
Thank you.
So,
are we, Brad, are you okay with leaving it?
I am okay with universal with proposal one.
Okay, I'll second that in favor, aye.
so we basically, it'd be about 75,000 or something that it would cost us to make sure that these 4 or 5 people still have a good situation.
But that
In
4 or 5
savings,
gonna change year to year.
Yeah,
They change
yeah.
medications
Well, yeah,
every
it
year.
would,
Right.
And we could look at the exclusive again next year.
Please.
But your impact could change, your
Easier to
disruptions
say
could
if there
change,
were
yeah.
no people impacted.
Right.
At that point, then it's an easier decision than having a little bit of sense of playing doctor with somebody's well-being and
So I think so the commissioners are in favor of universal.
I made a motion.
We're in favor of proposal one. Yeah.
Yeah, I made a council over proposal one.
Is there a second? Okay, we have a second. We've got some missing people here.
Proposal one, correct?
Okay,
Yeah.
proposal number one. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are you, Cory?
I said aye.
Okay, so we're 7-0 on
Okay.
the universal.
Perfect. Brad, are you still okay time-wise?
Yeah, I think we'll be all right.
All right.
We'll get to the last vote before I need to run out of here.
All right.
Okay, yeah, we'll go through the next few slides, and then we'll get to the stop
Go
loss.
right ahead.
Okay, so the next few slides are your financial impact, and for the sake of time, I'm gonna go over the dashboard for you really quick. This is a great story. I mean, your total costs are running about $2.7 million. Your premium equivalents are at you're running at a surplus of $2.5 million. That's great. You haven't had a stop loss hit this year to date.
Knock on wood.
Yep. And so your reinsurance loss ratio is at 0, so this is good news.
The year's not over.
Right,
No,
nope,
the year's
it's
not
not
over, which is why we don't do a lot of celebration.
Right.
But it's trending in the right direction.
The next 2 pages just kind of go over by plan design, where that falls, and you all can take a look at that. Go to your clinical page on page 12. We look at any claims over $10,000. You've got 43 free claimants that are over that amount, and then it kind of breaks out what kind of risks they're in, whether it's high, medium, or low risk. Low being, hey, one and done, nothing that we really need to be concerned of. Medium, we're monitoring to see if it could be, 3 is high. The bottom kind of line graph shows you 21 of those were employees, 11 were spouses, and 11 were also dependents. Of the 43 claimants, that's 1.26 million of your total, which is 56% of your spend. So we continue to monitor those as we go forward throughout the year.
And I would say, even though we're in a good position this year, we know that claims are very cyclical. And so, every 3 to 5 years, you're gonna have a bad year. So that is why we try to make sure that we fund appropriately so that we don't have such a significant hit when that does happen, because it will happen.
And we have how many on the plan right now? We have 1,000?
You have 465 employees. If you say 2.2, you're above 1,000 on the plan, yes.
So we're running about a 4% of major claims, or claimants, not high
Correct.
claimants, okay.
Yes.
Which sounds a little high.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say not necessarily. That's actually pretty normal.
We have no lasers.
You have no lasers.
As of for now.
Yeah, right now.
So there's the projection that we reviewed when we were here last quarter, just kind of showing that what we thought would come in for market. We'll get a little bit into the stop loss on that.
Page 14.
14, correct, showing a negative 9.5% expected or fixed midpoint at negative 1.2, and then max cost at 7.2.
Yeah, and so as a reminder there, that's based on what we believe your claims are going to be in 2026. All of your fixed costs, all of that in comparison to what your current premium equivalents, which is the budget essentially, what you're budgeting to today. We are expecting that it is going to be less in 2026 than what you're budgeting for today. Does that make sense? I want to make sure, we gotta fly through that sometimes.
We have 2 master rate sheets. The first one is gonna keep everything status quo, so no changes in your medical premiums, contributions from the employee, no changes for your employees on the dental. However, we did add adult ortho last time we were here, so that did have a 15% increase. We put that 15% back on the county in this first page, so you're gonna see that. And then the vision is, we passed it all along because it's a voluntary benefit, so the vision is the employee. So the items in the pink are the employees' contributions, and then the row right next to that is the employer contribution, and it matches what was done last year. I'm keeping the rates the same. If you flip to the next page, you're gonna see the only change variance in this is you're gonna see a light teal in the dental, and that's sharing that 15% evenly between employee and employer, should you want to do that. One of the things Amber and I discussed as we were looking at your overall, increase your premium equivalents is that we think that it's prudent, you can stay with the rates that you have today, and that's our recommendation. We also thought it might be time now, because we've been running so well the last few years, is there might be an idea of having a premium holiday for your employees in the month of December. So that would be a financial impact of about $28,000, should you want to do that. Just, nice way to be like, hey, plans, we're keeping rates the same, we'll be able to secure your benefits the same, and not only that, but we're gonna give you a rate holiday. And is everyone familiar with what the rate holiday, I just want to make an assumption that everybody's familiar with that. Okay, basically, you just, for the month of December, instead of payroll deducting for the medical plan, the employees wouldn't have to pay their portion in the month of December.
I think we already do that, don't we, Nancy?
Every December?
What, no,
Every
we
December you
do
do that?
24 pay periods versus 26 pay periods.
Right, so we would say the two
Oh, okay.
pays in December, they wouldn't have to pay for the medical premium. So it's just an extra little,
Yeah.
bonus for them.
Because I think it's normally November and December, I thought. Am I thinking that correctly?
Are you saying doing that?
Yeah, we
Well,
take
right now we
24
do
pay
it because
periods.
there's 12 months, so we take the same amount.
Yeah.
Instead of 24 pays.
Right.
Instead of
Are you saying we would like take away some of that?
Yeah, so from a payroll perspective, you can pay either on 24 pays or 26 pays. And so that, again, to your point, it's taking the entire amount and just dividing it by 24 or 26. What we are saying is for the pay periods in December, part of this is what we have seen other employers do, is try to reward people, to say, hey, you're doing the right things, you're getting your annual physical exams, we're doing a good job for the plan, and so we're gonna reward you for that good behavior.
So they're paying less, actually paying less?
They wouldn't have any premiums that would come out of their paychecks in the month of December.
Okay, that's kind of what
Yes.
we're doing it now in 24, so we're talking about the same thing.
No, but no, there'd be another
Yeah.
one, you wouldn't have, we'd be another pay, you wouldn't take it out of.
Yeah.
Because what we do is we split it, we divide by 24 instead of 26. She's talking about,
Yeah.
essentially they pay 23 times.
Correct.
instead of
Okay, that's a better,
Yeah.
Yeah.
way to say it. And it's nothing we have to do, it's just something as we were looking at how the plan is running, is that something that we could offer?
You would
Still
have
the same amount of money.
to do that.
Well, no, you guys would receive one contribution less from employees.
Yeah, we absorb that difference.
So
Yes.
we,
One month.
okay,
Yes.
so they are paying actually less.
Yes,
Yes,
they are.
employees.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're projecting that that would cost us 28,000.
That was correct, to give
Yeah.
a month holiday.
Cost the county that much.
But you
So-
saved money. That's,
That is
that's
correct.
the justification.
Yeah,
So there's, are we talking, so,
yeah, so I think yeah.
Yeah, do you want to, does the county want to absorb the 50% increase on the Delta dental plan with adult ortho, and keeping the employees' contributions the same, and approve those rates, the medical, dental, and vision rates? Or do you want to split that 15% between the employer and the employee and keep all the previous medical and vision rates that are listed here? So that's the first vote.
what do you think, Brad? Or you want me to speak?
Please.
I think we leave it as it is
Agree.
and not make the employee pay more.
Council,
Make a motion to leave it the same.
okay, second? To leave it the same.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
7-0.
Unless they may.
Oh, six,
And Brad and I
6-1.
are aye. The other was,
Whether or not you would like to do the premium holiday.
yeah, what do you think?
I'm impartial.
We're not doing that now, right?
Correct.
And that's based on the fact that we're saving $200,000 in premium, so we're just gonna give away $28,000.
Correct.
That's right. We
Yeah.
do. I think because saying that correctly.
I think
I don't agree with not having that
Yeah.
one month of.
no premium holiday.
Right.
Correct.
No premium holiday, no Christmas present in
All right.
December.
That's okay.
So there's no additional.
Larry can bake a cake and bring it in.
There you go.
No additional premium holidays.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
We'll move on to stop loss. As we sit today, we were able to give back your current stop loss carrier was the only one that would firm up the rates. And actually, as I drove over here this morning, same terms, contracts that you have right now underneath this. We go down to, and this is on page 3 of the page that looks like this.
Page 3.
Okay.
Yeah, page 3 of that report.
And you're gonna see here, the first column is your no new lasers, 50% rate cap. You're gonna see where you stand today, and I'm gonna be looking down at F, at that 7.3 million. If you keep everything the same, and I did get confirmation on my drive over that the transplant is flat, so that means that we're doing it the same rates. You can see here that we're looking at a 0.7% increase. Now you're gonna see that there are some illustrated, excuse me, my throat, that come back a little bit better.
Do you want me to go through it? Okay, sorry. Okay, so essentially, we have one quote that is firm as of today, and that's with your stop loss carrier that you have in place today. And so they have come out with an 18% increase on your fixed cost. So right now, we're paying about $600,000 for the protection of that $300,000 of the specific deductible. They're asking for about a $110,000 increase so that rate would go up to $707,000. As the incumbent, they're the only one willing to firm that as of today. The other carriers want another month of data before they will firm anything. So this is where we're kind of at a risk discussion of, do we want to lock in these rates with the incumbent carrier today, or do we want to wait for another month of claim data to see how that's going to shake out? Does that make sense?
It makes sense. You're the experts in this area. Are the others and not our current carrier? Are
Yep.
they just trying to play games with us?
Yeah, I will tell you, in the stop loss market in general right now, there is a lot of volatility. The Wall Street Journal just came out with an article last week that talked about the stop loss market and the 15% increase that's going across the board. And so they're all very volatile at this moment because of the number of $1 million claims that are coming through plans.
Yeah.
So they're not as aggressive as they have been. Now, I will say, based on these preliminary quotes, they look good. Now, what they haven't done is they haven't medically underwritten the quotes, so they're essentially giving you what they call their manuals. And so they're looking at the age, sex, gender, and location of all of your employees and saying, this is what we think it would look like, but we're gonna dig into your claims. Where we stand from a claim, I think we've had 0 stop loss hits. And so we should be looking at a near flat from a fixed cost increase perspective.
I think happening is our current providers trying to play out the fears of everything else and ding us when we might get a better rate from somebody else a month from now.
But are you rewarding those others that are asking
Are
for
wanting for
time?
more data. Yeah, so they're wanting another month of data to determine what their risk is, to say, are they willing to take, a $2 million risk for $600,000 in premium, right? That's essentially what they're trying to decide. And so they want another month of claim data. QBE has the benefit of, they have all of your claim data. So they have the upper hand in comparison to these other guys.
So when does the people we have right now, when do they have to have an answer by?
They'd like to have it firm by the 18th
This month?
this month. So
I think
today.
it's worth gambling to save $360,000.
Would the current provider, legally,
They can extend it. The other thing,
can they withdraw it?
yes, they can withdraw.
So that's the risk.
Yes, that is the risk. They can withdraw it if there's a new claim that comes out, let's say, I mean, we just had this happen at another city 2 weeks ago where there was a preemie baby that came through and it was $1.2 million.
And we're talking about
Do what?
potential of 0.7% of the total planned savings.
Still $400,000.
It is.
I'd gamble on $400,000 for.
So if you recall, a couple years ago, I believe, we had a couple issues that were pending, that were possibly some big ones that came in late.
Yeah,
We've
and
had
we
no
locked it
claims,
in and
and
we
then when it
saved
dropped,
it.
it's
Yeah,
20%.
because we knew those were pending.
Yes.
So we have 3 at high risk right now.
Yep. And
What is
one
the
of the,
potential of those 3 being lasered? Because that will change the effects of that,
Well, we have a no new laser contract,
okay?
so they won't be lasered because we already have that built in as a
Okay.
provision, so they can't laser.
So what about anybody else that's pending right now that hasn't hit? the
there is,
books?
we have a pin that hasn't gone through yet and hasn't hit the clinical information as of through July. It'll hit August, definitely.
So there's the risk if you wait, what that high risk can be.
You're saying, Eric, we should wait a month and see.
But if, how big is the claim that could go through? I know we have one of those, so it's like.
That's why,
We don't have the amount yet.
because it's not anywhere here that we have.
I mean,
The date was.
don't divulge anything, but are we talking about potential of $1 million claim?
Still there.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, they're there?
Oh, there, yeah.
They're still in there.
They're already.
They've been in there since July, and then
Okay.
there was something that happened on August 11th, and they're still there.
So my guess is that could, based on what I'm hearing, that could be $1 million claim.
Going up
Thank you
real
all.
fast.
Yeah. Commissioners favor taking
The current QB,
the,
staying
Bird in
with,
hand.
yeah,
Yeah.
staying with who we are, with the incumbent.
but, and you'll bring this back next year as well.
Oh, absolutely. We shop stop loss every single year, yes.
Much savings if we raise that stop loss number.
I'm sorry?
Much savings if we raise the stop loss number.
That's a great question. We have that on
We
that
did
next
that
page.
several
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah, we're to the point now where it doesn't make, it's,
Yeah.
we bit all the good meat off of that one.
Low hanging fruit was picked.
Yeah.
I think most of the state would be like that.
Well, we actually have it illustrated on the next page, so we did at least look at it just to see if we were to increase it from 300,000 to 325,000.
Page,
And it's, yeah,
page 4?
Yes, page 4.
Okay.
And it goes from 0.07% to 0.5%.
Fixed cost does go down though.
you're saving 34,000,
That's all.
yeah,
Yep. So
And taking
not a
on more
substantial,
risk.
that's one claim.
right.
So that's why I wouldn't recommend it. I would stay at the 300,000, but we did at least shop it and look at it to say, does it make sense or does it not make sense?
So commissioners are already voted for stay where we're at. We have a motion. Is there a second? Okay, we have a motion and a second to stay where we are. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Two.
I wanna know,
Yep.
send us an email a month from now to see if that.
See what it was? You want to know if you're,
I wanna know if I just, my vote, if we would have saved 20,000.
There.
You're good, Eric.
that, hey, we can.
You're good.
Rub our nose in it if we could have.
On the medical administration page, there's just one thing that we kind of wanted just to call out here, in that there is currently, you'll go down half the page and it says UMR, external PBM interface. That, we are fighting at Apex to have them do away with that due to the new state legislation that you can't charge folks for not outsourcing, but carving out the PBM. So we have it there. We just wanted to be able to demonstrate to you that that is something we're working on your behalf.
Yeah, and I did get word from one of the executives at United that they will be removing that for any non-ERISA plans. And so because you are a local government, that fee will be removed. So I did get verbal from them. They haven't released a stance yet on it, but I did get that verbal, so that will be taken out. That just happened. So
Fantastic.
that will go down.
All right, this is the second to last item that needs a vote on. We did move the FSA, the HSA to Lively last quarter when we met and we voted. They can also take the COBRA and the retiree billing that UMR currently does. And you'll see here, it's roughly, I mean, it's $1,600 in savings. If you want to do that for the sake of administrative ease, or if you'd like to stay with UMR for those. I think that Paula, I don't know how and Aaron, how's the direct billing piece working out?
If we can keep it all with one, so then we only have one bidder that we have to deal with any kind of questions. That way, it's not, oh, you're here for this and you're here for that. We really like Lively. We had quite a few issues with UMR with some of the billing, direct billing stuff, and it was turning into a nightmare. They were supposed to be taking care of stuff for us, and we found out they weren't. We were getting like notices, and like, well, wait a minute, hold on here. So if it's not that much, it's a savings, so keeping it all together, that way it's easier to track and it's easier to go to one source, in my opinion.
Probably administratively, it's saving you.
Help me out.
I would go to Lively, move your cover, your retiree, direct billing to
So
Lively.
you're saying approve this?
Approved to move to Lively for these two.
That's my motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Council,
So moved.
we have a move, second. Vote. All those in favor, signify by aye. Aye.
Okay, and then one last item to vote on. When we were here last, there was a decision to to move the HRA over to Lively. Unfortunately, after a deeper dive into how your plan is structured, your plan is a spend down. So this is accounts that have been sitting open, I want to say since 18. You're looking at 17 accounts with balances on them. We had 26, and we went ahead and closed the 9 that had 0 balances. But you have a total balance of those 17 accounts at $17,191.
What accounts are those?
These are the HRA accounts that were given to folks, and then,
This is a long time ago, it's before we were ever even.
So
in
it's
the picture.
what we did was, remember when we took the retirees who were over 65 off of the health plan? And you guys gave them an HRA to supplement their Medicare costs?
Right.
So right now you have 17 people who have not used those HRA funds.
Okay.
So the question is, because Lively can't do it, do you guys stay with WEX, or I'll let you guys run back on this side?
yeah, so WEX is charging a $5 PEPM to manage that. Or you can take it back in-house. The money is sitting with Hendricks County right now. Essentially, WEX just gives them a card to be able to spend for reimbursement. So there's a few things you could do, whether it's you just cut a check and say, here's the money, and go from there. I think our recommendation is that if you feel like it's not too much of a administrative burden, I would take it back in-house, and we could help walk through how you could get that resolved. Considering we just found out that 9 folks you've been paying for that have 0 balances on their accounts, so they're not really managing it the way they need to be.
I'm fine with taking it back in-house, Denny.
I'm fine with that as well. I want to ask Paula, you in favor?
We can have it, and to be honest, Lex, Snyder, they are.
Get over there today.
Terrible. We can do a better job of messing it up than they can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and we can give Paula the names of people who still have balances, so they can.
Yeah, I do have a question about the whole flexible spending. Do we ask like local banks if they want to handle it? Like,
We did. We
so I know when I was with Banning Citizens during there.
Yeah, we went to,
Yeah. I just want to make
we
sure.
went to Hendricks County Bank and Trust, we went to Key Bank, and we went to First Merchants that all have branches in Hendricks
Yeah.
County. And they were,
None of them are interested.
well, they just weren't competitive.
Pricey.
They would charge a fee. Got it.
But when this transfer happens, our accounts will automatically transfer to the new person.
So we'll work on getting everything set up. We've already started the call on the FSA and HSA. There will be a blackout period for the HSAs, and we'll communicate all of that. Our goal is to have all of that situated so we can talk about it during the open enrollment and educate folks in the new benefit guide, as well as during those meetings that we're gonna have in
But you
October.
already have some of your money invested in market funds in that account. Well, that's whichever two, we have to reallocate that to go into.
Let me double check with Lively on that.
Good
I bet
question.
that'll change, Mary, because there's whoever Wex or whoever that is, they have.
It's
their
whomever they use.
Right.
or
Yeah.
Templeton's or
Have
whoever
to.
it is.
That would have to be dissolved.
Yeah, generally has to be.
A fund similar to that.
Yeah.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion from the council to agree with.
I have a question. Want me to make the, somebody make the first question?
So moved.
Now, it's-
Hey, this money just sitting there and people haven't used it. I thought if you don't use your money, you lose it. Get your
Yeah,
that's flex
IRS
spending.
and
That's your,
Flex spending is that.
only
Yeah.
flex.
you're correct.
Yeah, this
How
is
sad
a,
is that the county put in?
this is a health reimbursement account, and when you set it up, you can decide whether you want it to go into perpetuity, if you want it to spend down, you can set up those rules. The way it was set up when it was initially put together was, we're putting this money into this account for those retirees to spend down. And so it was intended, based on my understanding,
one member has 87 cents left.
So I get a list at the end of every single year of all of the accounts who has money in them, and we've had some where they've passed away.
Right.
So what I do is then I hunt down the family members, and I get that money from that HRA onto those family members, so then they can use those funds.
I didn't mean, you didn't know who they were, I mean,
Yeah.
us in general,
yeah,
would not remember who they were possibly.
HRA, I think might have been, we were subsidizing that for Medicare supplements, if I'm not mistaken. So we were putting money in for those retirees to get them onto Medicare to do that. Obviously, some of them were just paying it out of their checking account
yeah,
and not using this.
correct.
That's what I'm assuming.
$5 a month and somebody's got 80 cents in the book.
That's
Is there
why
some
we're,
way that can be closed out?
well, that's what we're recommending,
You can bring it back in-house and
is
then
that
we can
you
have
don't pay $5 a month anymore.
Let them take the $5 out of the account.
Yeah.
It will owe you 400. we'll
I
owe
just think
you
it doesn't
413
make sense.
cents.
When we looked at it, I'm like, let's, now, did you say you give it, if the retirees have passed away, you move it to their families?
I get it to their families.
All those in favor,
Okay.
signify by saying aye.
With the
Aye.
balance, yeah.
Okay.
So what we do is I call the family member and find out, or the attorney, and find out who is in charge of that trust. or
Okay.
the trust or the estate, and then I get it to that, either that attorney, or I get it to that person who's in charge of that trust or estate. So then that way they can go about.
They get the balance of it?
Yep,
Okay.
yep, I don't let the money go away.
Okay.
Okay. The next page, do we have a final vote? Okay, okay. Well, that was the last of the voting items. If anybody has, I know we're running a little over here today. Then just kind of reiterating on page 27, what we decided last quarter when we were here, as far as the dental, staying with Delta Dental, ortho, we're increasing the benefit allowances and provisions, FSA, HSA going to Lively, direct billing with UMark going over to Lively. The Life, AD&D, and Disability are all going to stay with MetLife. Just for this committee, we have established open enrollment dates. Thank you, Erin. They are October 28th through November 5th. It will be a passive enrollment. Open enrollment meetings will be on October 22nd. We'll have two, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. We are implementing the benefit guide that you all approved last quarter, and Erin will be handling, or HR will be handling the evidence of insurability. The next 3 pages just kind of go over where we are with your strategy, your multi-year strategy. Looking at the TPA, ASO, we did do that analysis for you, the ancillary RFP, the market check, employee survey, evaluate UMR performances, and then evaluate the HSA, FSA, cohort administrators. Next year, we want to look at, we do want to take a look from a strategy, just look at all of, because we've got your elective RX, we've got RX Health Centers, we've got TrueRx, and just having that innovative RX solution partner really take a deep dive to see, is this the best, do we have the best program together? And if not, make recommendations. And then looking at your plan modeling, and then doing a contractual review of the clinic provider. And then we'll take a look at how your wellness program is.
Is there anything else that
You need a better
you,
shot of vodka.
I know, she needs some whiskey. Howdy toddy. Is there anything that we have not talked through that you guys would like for us to be reviewing or considering of your benefit program?
How's the GLAD program working out?
Is that it is, right now, it is, we think it's gonna run a little bit high from a prescription cost. We actually, Erin emailed me the other day. We are having Innovative take a list of the drugs that the clinic has and taking a look to see if they're getting the best price. And so we're gonna be looking at the pricing on those GLP-1 rates. Excuse me. I went down the throat a really wrong way. But just taking a look at it and doing an evaluation. So really right now, we're just waiting for HRH to give us that data. And then Innovative RX is gonna come back and say, hey, here's where we think we should be, and we'll have those discussions with them and their PBM that they're using through the clinic. But we are monitoring that, because that spend is up upwards of $60,000 on the GLAD program.
Yeah, and they did change their pharmacy, so they're no longer with Northwind, so, we're hoping that that creates some improvement in pricing, for those medications, but to Katie's point, we're looking at that to say if we were to get that medication through TrueRx, through our pharmacy contract versus through the program, is that an apples to apples comparison? So I think overall, the program is running well. We're just concerned about the cost of some of the medications and watching those to make sure that that's appropriate. Would you like to see a deep dive into that?
If I'm not mistaken, a couple years ago, I think HRH was wanting us to consider moving our pharmacy to their pharmacy at the time, which was Northwind.
Yep.
And so I think what I'm gathering from you just on this GLAD thing, that might do a good comparison with what HRH is doing with EMS or MF, whatever this new one is.
Yeah,
It's TrueScript.
Yeah, so we,
Save or whatever it is.
yeah, it's TrueRx.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, you're good. So with what we've been able to negotiate with TrueRx, what we've seen is that has been a lower rate. But again, I think this will kind of give us a litmus test, I would say, as to what that cost comparison will look like.
I think part of the reason that they moved from Northwinds to A&S was because of some of these costs of these medications. So, we started seeing a huge increase in our monthly billing with HRH. I mean, I just got the bill yesterday, it's $102,761. I think the previous month was like $58,000, which probably that's a lot of stuff. But a lot of it's the cost of those medications, and Northwind couldn't beat and bring down those costs even more, so that's why they moved to the A&S system.
There's no money made in pharmaceuticals out west.
About as much as in casinos.
Yeah.
When they build really good, beautiful buildings, but they're rough.
Problem is that the drugs
Yeah.
I got you on a daily basis.
All right, so we're done.
Anything else you guys would like to see from us? Or that you'd like to consider for your benefits program?
I don't think so.
See you next year.
I think we're doing well.
We'll see you before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be here for one more meeting, won't we?
Oh,
no, this is the last one.
If
Yeah,
you
you're
had
right.
waited for the stop loss, we would come back sometime in November.
Stop loss have been the
Yeah.
only thing.
Yeah, stop loss is the last thing.
Yeah, Eric would have talked loud enough, we might have been convinced, but he didn't do it.
Well, he didn't have the information on that claimant, because I was right with him with but I'm more
I
of a
still
risk
voted
taker.
on taking the risk though.
But with that large claimant, that makes a big difference, and it's not my money.
I'm again.
Yeah. Self-employment.
All right.
So moved.
Thank you.
Sir,
Everybody get that?